Coming up on 9 News at noon, the heat is calming down today in our part of the country at least, when cooler temperatures are rolling in this week. The investigation continues into a shooting involving Englewood police that left one dead. And more delays on I-70 in the high country, when it will impact your drive. All that and more coming up on 9 News at noon. Right now, one person is in the hospital after shots were fired in a Texas airport. Dallas Love Field is the smaller of the two airports in the Dallas area. Here's what police said in a news conference about a half hour ago. This happened in the airport's ticketing area. Police say a 37-year-old woman went into a bathroom to change. When she came out, police say she pulled a gun and started shooting into the ceiling. An officer then shot her, and she was taken to the hospital. Nobody else was hurt in the incident. Dallas police and the FBI are investigating. They say flights should get back in the air here soon.
To another major headline we're following for you. That brutal heat bearing down on the United States shows no sign of letting up. More than 60 million people are under heat alerts on Monday, including much of the Northeast, Central Plains, and the Pacific Northwest. For people in the Northeast, things are expected to cool off on Tuesday thanks to a cold front and some storms, but quite a different story in the Central Plains.
Sure is. The temperature, it's expected to be well into the 90s through midweek and 10 to 20 degrees above normal through at least Friday.
Yeah, for us here in Colorado, this is a live look at a very seasonal day. Those cameras you see are looking at downtown Denver, Boulder, and Empower Field. All three at this point in the 80s. A surprise compared to that heat wave crossing the country. Let's get right to meteorologist Keely Chalmers now with a look at what the heat is doing today. Hey.
Well, I'll tell you what, for the first time in a long time I've been out here in the backyard. It is pleasant out here, especially in the shade. So while folks elsewhere across the country are dealing with scorching heat, we here in Colorado are dealing with, well, pretty normal heat for this time of the year. Out there right now, we're at 81 degrees. We got plenty of sunshine. We will see increasing clouds as we head through the afternoon, but really that's all we're dealing with right now, at least here in the metro area. We are starting to see some thunderstorms pop up across the southern mountains, some lightning strikes we're seeing, and that's going to continue to push off to the east, but most of the storms staying mainly south of I-70, especially Palmer Divide and south of that. Otherwise, we're calling it partly sunny today. We're going to top out at 90 degrees. That is our normal high for this time of the year. We will see increasing clouds, but again, in the metro area, we are staying dry, it looks like, through the day. Tonight, overnight lows dropping into the low 60s, very pleasant. We actually have a stretch of below normal temperatures in our extended forecast, so you'll want to stick around to hear more about that.
Thank you so much. We'll check in with you again soon. Starting today, Marshall Fire survivors can start meeting with recovery navigators. They work one-on-one with survivors, helping them with things like signing up for rebuilding funds, insurance and legal referrals, financial resources, and mental health services. So this is a free program, but Boulder County says they expect a large amount of calls during the first few weeks.
And we just got an update moments ago to a shooting involving Englewood police. Police say they have now arrested 29-year-old Philip Blankenship. Just before 8 o'clock last night, police say they were responding to a disturbance within a home. Officers say a man started shooting at them from inside the home. Police say they fired back, killing that man. They have not released his identity. We just got the update to his identity that he's 22-year-old, again, Philip Blankenship. He now faces a charge of criminal attempt, first-degree murder. At this time, we are working to learn more details. This is an ongoing investigation. Police have not released any other information. We do, however, know that those officers have been placed on administrative leave, which is the department's protocol.
Around 2 o'clock this morning, officers responded to reports of a shooting in the 5400 block of Layden Street. That's in Commerce City. When they arrived, they found an adult male with gunshot wounds. The victim was transported to a local hospital, but later died from his injuries. Detectives believe the victim was shot during a robbery that involved 3 male suspects wearing dark clothing. Those suspects fled the scene, stealing the victim's 2003 maroon Chevy Silverado. The license plate was APHT 32. Now, if you've seen this truck or have any information at all, you're urged to call the Commerce City Police Department's tip line. That's 303-289-3626 and you can remain anonymous. Also happening right now, police are looking for a driver who hit and killed a woman in Lakewood on Saturday night. This happened near First Avenue and South Sheridan. Police identified the victim as a 53-year-old woman. Now, Sheridan is part of the Metro Denver's high injury network. So this means it's in the 5% of roads where more than half of all serious injuries and deaths occur. Police don't have a description of the car or the suspect, so anyone who may have seen something is encouraged to call the number you see on your screen at the bottom.
Right now, huge plumes of smoke are billowing out of the oak fire burning near Yosemite National Park. Now burning more than 14,000 acres or close to 22 square miles, it has forced thousands of people in Central California to evacuate. Governor Gavin Newsom is declaring a state of emergency for Mariposa County, which is a little more than an hour from Fresno. More than 400 firefighters are working to control that fire, which so far is 0% contained.
On a fire of this magnitude, unless that fuel break is 2.5 miles wide on this one, I can't even fathom to tell you the spotting that we are seeing and the fire behavior we're seeing on this. That's why when I sit here and talk with you, I am super happy that I have no severe injuries of anyone in the public and also anyone on our fire engines.
Smoke from that fire will be moving into Colorado today, by the way. Northwestern Colorado is going to get the bulk of it, according to forecast models. Denver and Boulder may see a good haze starting mid-morning to afternoon, so about this time now. And those who are sensitive should try to limit their activities outside.
Monkeypox is now a global health emergency. The World Health Organization made that announcement this weekend. So this means it's now in line with polio, Ebola, swine flu, and COVID. The CDC says there are more than 16,000 monkeypox cases so far this year in 74 countries and more than 2,800 cases here in the U.S. since May. 47 of those are in our state here in Colorado. The outbreaks are mostly in men who have sex with men. The Director General of the World Health Organization says he wants to make sure they protect health without stigmatizing. Now, even with the outbreak of monkeypox, the demand for vaccines is still very limited right now. As of just last week, the U.S. distributed 156,000 doses to states. Colorado State Health Department has closed its vaccine appointment request form. This is because of extremely limited supply. The department says they expect more doses to come soon. When they do get those, they can start giving people their second dose. They might even give those doses more than 28 days apart, which is currently the standard. The state says they'll reach out to people who got their first dose about availability of that second dose.
President Biden's physician says the president's COVID symptoms are improving at this time. Sunday, his physician said the president's main symptom right now is a sore throat. He says the president's cough and body aches are diminishing considerably, though. The president will continue to take antiviral pills while he isolates. He will also continue his regular duties once he tests negative.
Now for a traffic alert this noon, construction of I-70 in Denver has caused ongoing ramp and road closures for the last few years now. The long-term goal is to ease traffic congestion, of course, but for now, people in nearby neighborhoods say it's been rough on some businesses. 9 News reporter Luis De Leon has the story.
Traffic may pause on I-70 when construction crews need it to, but for the highway's neighbors,
you're good.
Business keeps moving.
We do tattoos, piercings, we're a barbershop, permanent makeup. We do a little bit of everything.
Sean Williams owns Hard Knocks Tattoo Parlor in the Elyria Swansea neighborhood.
The neighborhood's really friendly. The people that come around are really great.
But even the sign out front, he says, has not been enough to keep customers coming back.
With the access changing weekly, it seems like one road or another road is always changing or being closed. When it comes to generating new clients and when we run sales that are to the public, the access has just been so difficult.
He estimates that sales have been down 30 to 40% lately.
Listo.
A similar story next door at Imagen Beauty Salon.
Sí.
Longtime stylist Rubia Herrera says most of their regulars have to use the highway to get there.
I have a customer in Green Valley Ranch, in Mambelo, Commerce City.
But construction, she says, can get in the way. A spokesperson for CDOT tells us they cannot compensate businesses for lost revenue or rent unless access is restricted to a point where a business cannot operate. They say they partnered with places including Hard Knocks Tattoo and Imagen Beauty Salon to pay for coupons for the business's customers and also offered free cleaning services for all the dust and debris. But even with that, the overall impact, businesses say, persists.
In the long run, the bigger picture, it's going to be great for Colorado, but in the last couple of years, it's just been horrible for a small business like mine.
CDOT is opening a 4-acre park directly over I-70. This is to better connect the Elyria-Swansea area to those businesses that you just heard about. As of now, that is scheduled to open later this fall.
Well, it may be hot outside, but maybe enjoying some wildflowers will take your mind off of all that heat. Or you can go to check out the wildflower capital coming up.
It's currently wildflower season here in Colorado, and there's literally nowhere better to see them than the Crested Butte area. 9 News reporter Ann Herbst takes us hiking in the wildflower capital.
Yeah, look at my office.
Scenery and science intersect in Gothic, Colorado.
Yes.
Rick Revis couldn't think of a better place to work.
We're getting ready to walk on, biologically hallowed ground. Okay, their lab started in 1928.
Rick leads wildflower hikes at the Rocky Mountain Biological Lab.
They're all arranged like this, okay? Nice, neat rows.
He's the right guy for the job. He wrote the book on wildflowers.
This is a Rocky Mountain wildflower field guide.
Literally. The lab is the perfect spot for Rick to share his passion with curious visitors.
All sorts of flowers that I've never even seen before, thought that I would see, things I couldn't imagine.
We have about 1,500 species of flowers.
As far as you can see, purple and yellow and white and some red.
Millions of years of things coming together to have this area as the wildflower capital of Colorado. Cow parsnips. For generations, native tribes have used this as a food source. And so we're going to identify this little sunflower here.
The flowers he talks about are bright.
And this is curly-head goldenweed.
The people who work here outshine them.
We have had generations of scientists doing field research in biology. Isn't that a gorgeous flower, guys? Look at that. The scientists have been studying and researching with this plant is that when Indian paintbrush is present, there's more diversity.
From the divine,
it's in the buttercup family,
to the deadly.
You could eat that and go, it was sure nice knowing you.
Rick's classrooms got it all.
So here you have a plant, but why is it producing the nectar?
A place where the technical,
it has, that palmately compound leaf,
and natural coexist.
You stay very humble here. It's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't learn something new.
Ann Herbst, 9 News.
The lab in Gothic will hold the wildflower hikes for a few more weeks now. They aren't too tough, and they're full of a lot more information on wildflowers than Ann could even fit into the story. So if you want to learn more about this, we have a story on our website, 9news.com.
It's warm out here today, but we're getting ready to begin a stretch of below normal temperatures. We'll talk about just how cool your highs will get coming up after the break. Well, we are well on our way to temperatures in the low 90s this afternoon, but I'll tell you what, it is going to be the last day for a while of temperatures in the 90s. We are in store for a cool down starting tomorrow. Out there right now at DIA, we are at 81 degrees. The winds are calm. They will pick up a bit as we head into the afternoon hours. Check out those temperatures. We're in the 70s and 80s across the Eastern Plains, so fairly cool for Eastern Plain temperatures. We're at 81 again here in the metro area. Colorado Springs checking in at 81 as well. 60s and 70s up there in the high country at this noon hour. So look at your weather headlines for today. Yes, we are in store for a day of seasonal temperatures. Are normal for this time of the year, 90 degrees. That is also our forecast high. We do have some storms tracking right now south of I-70, and that will be the case throughout the afternoon. Mainly I-70 Palmer Divide for the most part south. We do have more active weather returning on Thursday. That's when we should keep our eye out for some flood alerts as temperatures also cool off into the 70s. Can you believe it? HD Doppler radar showing again not a lot of action here in the metro area, but as you head again south of I-70, that's when we're already starting to see those thunderstorms, lightning strikes pop up. They'll gradually push off to the east as we head through the afternoon. Futurecast, let's go ahead and put into motion. We'll track those storms. This is 2:30 again. Fairly strong storms down there across the southern mountains, Durango and Alamosa, as we head through the day and spreading across to the eastern plains, again, southeast corner of the state. I-70 north staying mainly uneventful, staying mainly dry. Here in the metro area, that it will be the case most likely as well as we head into the evening hours. Waking up tomorrow to, well, pretty clear skies and lots of sunshine. We will see increasing clouds tomorrow, much like we are today. No risk for any severe weather across the state, but again, we are going to see those thunderstorms rumble across the southern half of the state. Forecast highs today, we are looking actually topping out mainly in the mid-80s across the eastern plains. Have to head down to the southeast to get those 90s. We're looking at 80s, 90s across the Front Range and 70s and 80s up there in the high country. So we'll call it partly sunny today with those storms staying south again of I-70. We'll get up to about 90 degrees, which is our normal high for this time of the year. Those winds picking up, gusting up to 20 miles per hour this afternoon. 63 your overnight lows, and here is your 7-day forecast. Check it out. We are in the 80s both tomorrow and Wednesday. Thursday, that's when we have more storms moving in that could increase the flood concerns. Check out the high, 79 degrees. So quite a bit cooler than our normal high of 90 degrees. Friday, 81. Again, some scattered storms continuing. And then we get back to more seasonal temperatures in the 90s as we head into next week.
Happening this week, Broncos country gets his first chance to see Russell Wilson and the 2022 Broncos in person. Training camp kicks off Wednesday, 10 in the morning at the UC Health Training Center.
And after 21 stages of racing, Denmark's Jonas Vingegaard took home his first Tour de France trophy yesterday. Nearly 200 cyclists compete in the 2,000-mile race, and this year it spanned 4 different countries. Belgian sprinter Jasper Philipsen won the last stage, and Britain's Geraint Thomas, the 2018 Tour winner, came in 3rd place during this year's race. Now, this is the first time since 1989 that all 3 men standing on the podium know what it's like to win a tour before all of this. All right, listen, we know it's Monday. It can be tough. Let's make it a little bit more festive for you, shall we? Because today is National Wine and Cheese Day. Yeah, a day meant to challenge people to try new wines and some cheese and new combinations. Keely Chalmers over here just loving that. You like that, Keely?
I didn't know you could hear me.
we could hear that big gasp all the way over here. Experts suggest trying a fresh cheese, which is soft and spreadable and often consumed just a few days or weeks after it was made. But in the end, it is your day to find the wine and cheese pairings that you enjoy the most.
Favorite wine?
Ooh, well,
doesn't have to be brand. It can just be like a type.
No. Favorite wine? Wine.
Just wine. Okay, I love Cab Francs for reds and for white Sauvignon Blanc all day. Thank you.
Mine kind of depends on weather and stuff. Like if it's hot outside, I want a chilled white, usually Sauvignon Blanc. Yeah. If not, I like a dry red, maybe like
where we like to go for some wine.
We like some good Postino.
We love it.
We'll see y'all there after the show. We'll be right back.
Yeah, if you like the warm weather, enjoy today. We are going to be up to 90, which is normal for this time of the year. But after that, we are cooling down. Partly sunny skies by this afternoon. We're still going to see increasing clouds. Overnight lows dropping to about 63 degrees. And there is that streak of 80s. Oh, there is 170. 79 there on Thursday. And then we're back to the 90s as we head into next weekend. And it's looking like we're going to see the chance for those afternoon storms pretty much every day of the week.
I've enjoyed that.
I don't mind him at all.
I've enjoyed that.
Gives you a break to go inside, read a book.
Cools things down very nicely, gives you a good nap. 79, Mother Nature surprising us with that one right there. By the way, today's actually not a bad day to get outside, go to a park, maybe have your wine and cheese.
Have a little picnic.
Outdoors a little bit. Keely Chalmers already thinking of what she's going to be doing after this show.
You know it.
Thank you so much for being with us for 9 News at noon. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Have a great one, y'all.